television in Hawaii for 14 years, plus the radio station, and it's very difficult for me from Hawaii to come here. So this is first time I'm here. As you know, I just asked Senator office that's promoting the human rights and democracy for Vietnam bypass the Human Rights Act S1649 for Vietnamese people. Of course, we live in this country, a lot of freedom, and we want to bring this freedom back for our people there. And just they need freedom, and only us in the United States, we can do something for our people who have no voice in our country. And also, I need to ask additional to negotiate for TPP with Vietnam and ask more freedom for Vietnamese people. I keep talking freedom because we have a lot of freedom here, and back home, they need just a little bit freedom. They need more, okay? And Mr. Ngo Thai will talk to you more detail about it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, right now that we had a lot of voice from Vietnamese American in US, then we try to support for the people in Vietnam now, because we have a lot of proof evidence they still in Vietnam, they still the torture and the abuse for the prisoner. But there's some people they speak out where the freedom for the Vietnam, but they don't have the truth, and after they speak it out for that, and they get in prison because the government they don't like the people they speaking out. So they are part of the Vietnamese people, so we try to support to them, because inside the Vietnam they couldn't. So we are here, we are U.S. citizen in here, but we still support for the people in there. So that's why that we come here today, then request to Senator to support to pass the bill.
Pass the bill.
Yeah, for you can do that. Yeah. So
you cannot imagine how freedom we live in this country, and just how bad people live under the communism.
Sure.
So we sometimes a lot of people go back to our country, see so free, but it's just like a egg. Inside, just people cannot breathe.
Absolutely.
Yes, so it's really strong. Make us feel like we should come here today to ask Senator office to help us to pass this.
And the next step is the Vietnamese government, they try to join with the TPP. So right now you heard about the US, we talking about that with the Asian people over there, but actually we need, if we support to the Vietnam to join with the TPP, then we add more conditional for that. Then we need to negotiate with them. They should be open the door for the people. They after they sign it, and they forgot everything what they signed, So we don't want it. If they tell they want to do, they should be doing it. They know the kind of people like that. So we try to ask they release them all. So that's the reason why we want to do it here. So.
Well, we certainly thank you for taking the time to come in and share your thoughts with us today. And we certainly are grateful for your passion and enthusiasm for being champions of human rights and democracy in Vietnam. And the Senator thanks you for sharing that passion with us so that we can share it on your behalf with him.
Yes.
And he regrets that he wasn't able to join you in person today. His responsibilities on the floor unfortunately preclude him from being able to join you here today.
Yes.
But he does pass along his best wishes to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we will certainly pass along your messages to the Senator. Obviously, with the United States as a Pacific nation, the United States has a leadership responsibility with promoting democracy in the Asia Pacific.
Yes.
And with Vietnamese Americans in Hawaii and in the United States, we have a responsibility to promote human rights and democracy in Vietnam and throughout the Asia Pacific, and the United States has a leadership responsibility.
Yes.
And you can find that Senator Schatz is a champion of human rights around the world and will continue to be a champion for human rights in the Asia Pacific and in Vietnam.
Yes.
And we will certainly continue to advocate in espousals beliefs here in the Senate and in Congress, and we certainly appreciate you taking the time to come and convey those messages on your behalf of Vietnam and you folks today. So
Oh, we appreciate your time to have us in this room to
To share
share
idea
and
and
let
open.
us tell you what we need your help for our country.
it's the very least that we can do.
Yeah.
I would like to interject a little bit more regarding the TPP negotiations. It's not only for the Vietnamese interests, because when we're trying to have Vietnam as a partner, we would rather have a partner that is more share our fundamental values. So besides the freedom and democracy, but also we talk about labor. We try in TPP in order to benefit all of the members on economical benefits.
Sure.
But for example, right now in Vietnam, they don't have a right to establish their own labor union.
Yes.
So in that way, whatever the wages the foreign investor or even the Vietnamese government impose, they pay $1 an hour.
Right.
There's no way for the American worker to compete with that.
Right.
If the worker over there don't have a right to speak for themselves. So in that way, we are actually losing jobs for the American people here. So in all negotiation, it has to be a win-win negotiation. But if we allow them to force labor, oh by the way, a lot of prisoners has been put into a camp, forced labor, they get paid like $2 a month. So there's no way American worker can compete with that. So we need to make sure, put those conditions in the TPP negotiation. It's good that we promote value, but we also need to make sure the American interest is protected.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that the senators has made clear is that you don't have to have economic growth doesn't have to come at the expense of labor rights, and that labor rights are inextricably linked to human rights, and that's something that he can continue to advocate as a member of the Senate, and something that we'll continue to push here in Congress.
So I have a quick question regarding what is the Senator position regarding the TPA, because I believe that the Obama administration is asking for the TPA, the Trade Promotion Authority, so that he can fast track basically, so he doesn't have to go through Congress, like we just have yes or no without going into hearings in detail.
Sure. I'd have to follow up with you on that, as I don't handle trade specifically for the senator. We have a trade representative here in the office who works specifically on TPP. So I can follow up with you after we've met here. So, and I will actually give you my.
Yeah.
So I'll follow up directly on that.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Any American worker we want to job back in the U.S. As he just gave an example. So a lot of job then are offshore. Is that why a lot of American people then will lose the job in here?
Mm-hmm.
So we know the economic that is important to trade in with the Asian, but we need a job in here either. So we need the food on the table for our children. So we don't want to ship the job in our United States.
Absolutely.
We all Vietnamese American, and we have two countries to think about, to help to do something. So I try we now try our best for our country, America, and then also we care about our country back there, Vietnam, no freedom.
Absolutely.
So it's just we really need your help for this.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, we're grateful to you all for coming and sharing your thoughts and message with us today.
Also,
All right.
the last thing we want to mention that well, you probably see in the package there, the House is proposing a new proposed bill called Vietnam Human Rights Sanction Act, which is similar to apply sanction to the inner circle that abuse. For example, like the inner circle, like Putin, like we just have passed this a few days ago. Right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the House has been just introduced that by the chairman and Ed Rice. So
Okay.
eventually that will go to the Senate. So I hope I count on the senator support for that.
I appreciate you finding that. That's helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the last point I want to share with you is the Vietnamese people. Nobody knows Vietnam more than us know them.
Yes.
Yeah, because I spent over 20 years living with the communist government. So we understand them more than you guys understand them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why we bring up and tell the people in here to understand. The American in here should be understand. We are American right now, so we understand them more than the American
We understand both
them.
sides
So
and how free we be in this country. People have heart, a lot of heart, given heart. But under communism, they need power and money. That's why you see so many people take money, under table money, and they don't think about their people.
they don't
So
care.
we need to bring this freedom air back to Vietnam, back to Vietnam. And we need government support us. A Vietnamese American with two citizens, we love two country. We love, of course, this country bring to us like I am today. I'll be so proud to be an American, and I feel broken heart with my country. People still back there with no freedom.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much to have us in this room today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Of course. Anytime.
Appreciate that.
And you have my contact information if there's anything that
Yes, I
we
have.
can ever do to be helpful. Senator, please don't hesitate to contact us.
I do. Hopefully every year I can come here because far away from Hawaii.
Yes.
This is first time, but I think although this is a time, this is time for me to do something to show support state of Hawaii because I do TV for 14 years.
She's like a
I
long
do
trip.
a lot of
Come
things
down
for
here.
Vietnamese people, and I support like any senator, anybody's running election. I do support. I do that with my community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again.
Okay,
thank you.
thank you so much.
I think
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the package so we can present to